Now autumn's here, I thought I'd show you a really quick way of arranging flowers or greenery and berries so you can have a bit of colour in your living room to see you through to the Christmas period. My name's Julie Davis from Julie Davis Flower Workshop and Flower Start, the online flower arranging classes. Now I bought this vase a few weeks ago from Sarah Raven's garden. We visited her garden down in Perch Hill in September, and I thought it was just a really good size for arranging flowers very, very casually. So I've given it a quick wipe out because I hadn't used it for a while and it was getting a bit dusty, and I'm going to put in a small amount of water into the bottom of my vase. Now it's up to you to decide how much water you put in your vase. The more water you put in, the more of your greenery that might be submerged below the waterline you need to take off. But the less water you put in, the more frequently you're going to have to keep topping it up or remembering to make sure your flowers are still in water. Now the easiest way to arrange these flowers, these branches, would just be to recut the stems at an angle and to put them into the vase one at a time. So you can see here that there's no greenery, there's no leaves under the flower stem, but I have got leaves within the body of the vase, and I want to get a really crisp look, so I'm going to take off all my leaves right up to the rim of the vase. So I've got this zhuzh of colour at the top, but everything is really streamlined at the bottom. And again, that's just personal preference, but it just makes it look really calm and soothing in the vase, and then really happy and frivolous at the top. So I know from there that I'm going to have to trim those bottom leaves off either with a sturdy pair of scissors or with your secateurs. And having done the one, I should then be able to gauge how much needs to come off all the other stems. So sometimes you can just do this with your hands and just rip them off. But if you're choosing any stems with thorns on them, you're going to have to be extra careful. And also, if you're too heavy-handed, you may find that you start to damage the bark here. You can see this pale bit here, and you're going to be attracting bacteria into those open wounds. So it may be better to go through with your scissors and snip off. I think I still need to have a few more there. Everything that will come not only below the waterline, but within the vase itself. So this branch is V-shaped. I think it's going to be quite difficult to manage, so I'm going to cut it down into two sections, one going this way and one going the other, and then I can take off the stems, the leaves, and the same there. So I hope I've got those all about right. And then, having got them all trimmed back, I do need to make sure, I think I might have to pull off a few more pieces from the bottom, and then I will have to make sure I recut the stems as well. So you do this because once you've picked the stems, the ends start to dry out and they don't take up water so well. So you're recutting the stems to create a fresh wound, and I'm coming in with my secateurs because they're nice and sharp, and at an angle each of the stems in turn. You can hear those stems pinging all over the place, and then grouping them in my hand, I would just let them fall in a really casual way. So really there's no arranging as such going on. I'm just look as if I've been to the woods, collected some branches and then displayed them at home. And then in doing that, I can see there's a couple of berries that have landed up in the glass. So they're going to rot off in time, but you know, you might enjoy looking at the berries there. It's sort of a sign as well that we're moving on towards Christmas time, and they do look a bit like Christmas tree baubles. But I do particularly like is that all the green is gone really bushy at the top, and there's just bare stems in the water, and I quite like the fact that I've got quite a low water line. It just gives more of a designer look. And another thing you can do with your berries as well, if you want to show off the berries even more so they're not quite so hidden amongst these leaves, you could pinch off some of the leaves or all of the leaves if you had more time and that was the look you were going for, just to strip back the whole look. So you could just have bare branches with the berries, either if you're lucky enough to find bare branches with berries, or you know, just go ahead and take off the leaves and get the branches to do what you want them to do. So I hope you've enjoyed that, and I shall see you another time.